Just earlier, the fans on their feet as the national anthem rang out throughout the arena. Welcome, everyone, to Phillips Arena. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Hawks, where we'll be broadcasting live today. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan. Here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And a one-game homestand for Atlanta as the Hawks will try to recharge their batteries on their home court. There's no question this game will put them to the test. Facing off against a team that has every expectation of beating them, they'll need to play a complete game to snare a win.
Now, this is a bit of a quirk in the schedule. They're going to play this team on their home court first, and then in the next game, they'll be on the opponent's home court. So it's almost like a mini-series, and it creates some interesting scenarios in terms of how you approach it. But it is just 2 games on the schedule, so ultimately, that's how you deal with it.
I think these home and away series are always fun, Clark. I mean, it really is like a little mini-series, and you get the same game plan, the same rotation, the same players you're going against. Kind of fun to play them twice in a row.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Johnson, Wallace, and Humphries are the 2, 3, and 4 in order. Deron Williams out there with Brook Lopez. And for the Hawks, Mr. Perfect in at small forward. Devin Harris is out there with Lou Williams. Then it's Ivan Johnson. And it's Smith in at the power forward position.
Josh Smith has that small forward frame, but his strength and explosiveness make him more than a capable power forward. Sometimes it seems like he'd prefer to play small forward, but I think he's most effective around the basket using that explosive leaping ability and those long arms.
And Atlanta has possession. This on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And their shooting percentage from that game tells the story. They got hot and they stayed hot.
I know, it was something to watch, wasn't it? I mean, I kept waiting for those guys to cool off, and it just never happened.
Now here is Harris. He picked up 12 points in their last one against Chicago, and that one's good. Mr. Perfect's got the game going here with the first basket for the Hawks. And Josh Smith has been fond of playing on the perimeter. Has looked to keep his weight down to enable Clark that versatility.
Well, there's nothing atypical about that, Kevin. Nowadays, a lot of big guys want to face up. And the game is such with the three-point line and athletic fours that can shoot it, that you need to be able to do that at that position. Preventing him from really being able to excel at both the small forward and power forward position.
And Atlanta has possession. After the basket by Brooklyn, Williams' shot is off. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I briefly spoke with head coach Avery Johnson. I asked him what he thought might give them an edge going into this game. He said, well, our shot blocking is always a cornerstone for us. To have the ability to protect the rim, really, I think, is invaluable. And one thing that helps set us apart on the defensive end. Guys, let's see if they can lock down the paint.
Thank you very much, Doris. Defensive strategy, guys, being heavily enforced by the coaching staff.
And that's in large part because of the talent they have on that side of the ball. A lot of length, speed, quick hands. They've got a lot of ability on that side of the floor.
Well, when you've got the horses, you've got to ride them and let them run. And defensively, they've definitely got some horses. You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
And it seems like Atlanta is one of those teams, guys, that's just good enough to be in the playoffs year after year, but not really great enough to contend for a championship. And it's a tough spot to be in the NBA, but if you don't have a superstar player, which Atlanta doesn't, it's just tough to get over the hump.
Here's Williams. Joe Johnson score. Harris passes to Williams. Williams with another miss. The Nets with the lead. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And in that game, Kevin, they found a lot of ways to exploit that defense, and then Hawks just took it to them.
Yeah, it was simple. Real simple. Nothing fancy there. Everything plain and well executed, Steve.
Well, if you're Atlanta, you perhaps consider trying, Steve and Clark to make a move for a superstar player or get over the hump or how do you think it's going to play out, Clark? I'll start with you. How do you think the thing's going to go in Atlanta?
Well, Kevin, when you're trying to put the together, you always have to consider making a move for an elite level talent. But when you look at the Hawks, they've got enough good and great players that if they can keep them in Atlanta, one of those guys might blossom into that elite star and be able to take Atlanta to the next level, perhaps even to the final.
Well, Johnson is not the same player he was a few years ago in terms of explosiveness, but he's still very crafty. He knows how to create his own shot by using that size and strength. And he can get to that mid-range area against virtually any defender in the league.
And one of the things with Joe is that he never seems to get thrown off his game once he gets it going. I mean, when he's flowing, it's hard to slow him down. He's a guy who can really score points in bunches.
You know, you talk about scoring point guard versus passing ones. I think Darren Williams gives you both. He's one of the league leaders, both in points and assists. So you can bet he's basically the focal point of every team scouting report defensively.
Here's Brooks, following the score by Josh Smith. Humphries with the bucket.
Man, he shows us he knows how to finish with a flourish.
Teague kicks to Williams. Shot left block. A rebound by the Nets. Humphries has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Darren Williams, as you said, multi-talented offensively, able to score inside and out, and he gets to the free throw line.
Simply a handful. I mean, he's strong, he's got quick feet, he gives you just about everything you could ask from your point guard in the offensive end of the floor.
Here's Teague, following the bucket by the Nets. Here's Mr. Perfect. Out to Smith. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second throw. So for the Hawks, Quentin Richardson's checked in for Smith. Williams comes in for Anthony Morrow. Devin Harris subbed in for Jeff Teague. And the new group in for the Nets. Dante Green is checked in for Humphries. Stackhouse comes in for Joe Johnson. Keith Bogan, he's checked in for Marshawn Brooks. Lance Watson in for Darren Williams. And here is Williams. Harris, right side, and it's in.
That's got to feel good. Ending the quarter on a positive note.
Yeah, you would know that feeling well, my.
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine. Mr. Perfect with top billing, a breakout talent, making his mark in the NBA.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, Clark and Steve, what do you guys think about what they have or haven't been doing?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Hawks, Mr. Perfect, he's in a small folk. Teague and Lou Williams at the back. Smith out there with Ivan Johnson. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Green. Doris, over to you.
Hi, Kev. Mr. Perfect in their last time out against the Bulls was simply terrific. He finished with 19 points, and in addition, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. A dominating performance from a player who might start making waves around the NBA. That is what the franchise hopes of these guys.
Well, thank you, Doris. Clark, what a game he's had.
I love it. I mean, passion, intensity, focus, right on top of things. These are the games when you know you're feeling it and flowing nicely.
And when you have that, when you know it's there, you've got to attack. And that's exactly what he did. He took advantage of the circumstances and really came through with a phenomenal performance. They are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
And see, if I'm them, I keep going right to the heart of that defense like they have been until they do something about it. If they don't offer resistance, take everything you can get in there. They keep pounding them on the glass here in this one. Just a tremendous job rebounding the ball.
Well, that's half the battle. When you go after it every single time, it's a mindset. You never assume the shot's going in. You've got to always assume the shot's going to come off the rim, and it's going to be yours. Well, you feel good for Larry Drews in his third season as a head coach because he spent 18 years.
Humphries backing down. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Humphries has got 8 points. And Larry Drew, well liked by the players in his time as an assistant, probably made it a little bit easier for the ownership to make him the head coach as he replaces Mark Woodson.
Well, it's always easier to be the good cop, when you're the assistant coach. All of a sudden you become the head coach and you need to be tougher, you need to discipline players a little bit. It can be harder to have those relationships with your players. It's always a fine balance, but Drew has done a nice job of establishing himself with this Hawks team.
6 on the shot clock. For 3, Williams. It's rebounded by Jenkins. By 6. Williams, that's good. And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played.
And this really is such an interesting time for the Nets because the move to Brooklyn, I think, has elevated the image of that franchise. They used to be the little brothers to the Knicks and playing across the river in New Jersey. Now they basically are sharing the spotlight in the Big Apple, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Pulling up for that long jump shot in transition. That's not a high percentage shot, but he knocks it down.
Takes it to Bogans. Wallace outside. 18 feet out. Count that one. Wallace has got his first points of the night. Yeah, Nets are now in one of the premier locations, Steve, for any sports franchise, even if it was a short move. And I think, Clark, with that move, the whole mindset has seemingly changed.
Well, you can certainly call them a big market team now, and a lot of free agents will probably be interested in signing there. So definitely they've got a working advantage in their favor now.
Here's Humphries. Rebounded by the Hawks. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets.
Well, they were unbeaten against this opponent last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished.
Here's Mr. Perfect. Shot's good. Mr. Perfect's got 12 in the game. Good if it goes. No good. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Hawks lead by 1. 2K Sports, back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. And it's going to recap the action. It's a close game for the Hawks going up against the Brooklyn Nets. This is on paper, they've been up to the challenge. Mr. Perfect is having no trouble against Brooklyn. He's been rolling recently, and he's continuing his excellent play in this one.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. We're seeing a tremendous game from Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, he's done a great job of finding the soft spots in that defense. A very efficient game for him so far.
Yeah, and I like what he's done, Steve. I mean, he's made a couple of jumpers here or there, but what he's really done impressively is allow the game to come to him.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Gerald Wallace, Chris Humphries, and Brook Lopez filling out the front line. Johnson is out there with Darren Williams. Back to Lopez. There. Lopez, no luck.
Well, it's fun watching Avery Johnson. We were teammates for many years in San Antonio. We were David Robinson and Tim Duncan on the squad. It was Avery Johnson who was the vocal leader.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Harris. It's blocked by Lopez. And they're on the break. Here's Wallace. Johnson dishes to Wallace. The shot, no good.
He's far too tentative in the paint. Even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
Takes it from 10. Harris missing again. And Avery Johnson on those Spurs teams, Steve, helped lay the foundation for their success.
Well, he helped lead the team to their first title in '99. In fact, hit the game-winning shot in that playoff game against the Knicks. So, this is a guy who knows how to win a championship. He's been part of a team that has built a culture, a championship culture. So he understands what it takes, and he's got a tremendous passion for the game, a great foundation for what it takes to be a good coach in this league. Way too loose on that inbound pass.
Jeff Teague, who's checked in for Devin Harris. Here's Mr. Perfect. Shoots from the elbow. Joe Johnson pulls it in. Johnson's got his fourth rebound in this one.
Since moving to Atlanta in 1968 from St. Louis, the Hawks have been a steady presence in the postseason, Kevin. Still, that penultimate goal of an NBA title has eluded them.
Teague against Williams. Down low. Here's Mr. Perfect. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Mr. Perfect's got 4 points this quarter.
Boy, he's been so cool out there, composed, never rattled. I mean, very stick.
Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now, here in the third. Outside Williams. Steps back and fires. Again, the Hawks score. With the Hawks in the playoff history, they've always seemed to be the good team that just was overpowered, it seems, Steve, in the end.
Yeah, they've never had that transcendent play. The closest guy they had to that was probably Dominic Wilkins. But he was playing in the era when Bird and Magic and Jordan were dominating the league. So it's just been one of those things for Atlanta. They just haven't been able to get over that hump. They've been good, they just haven't been great.
And Darren Williams pulls it down.
He had a defender draped all over. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Bogans. The feet to Wallace. Knocked away. Williams with the steal. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Harris. No good. Nice defense from Wallace.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
Here's Stackhouse. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up.
You know, they'll want to generate more of those shots in tight, guys.
Here's Mr. Perfect. Harris outside. Pass to Richardson for the three. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Richardson's got 6. Puts up a clear. The shot is no good. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points.
On tap next Monday, Dwight Howard and the Los Angeles Lakers take on Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Be there.
While we're still getting underway here in the fourth, let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Strike Uncontainable Game Report. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, our uncontainable game in this one was stretched by the Atlanta Hawks. It was their strong play on both ends of the court that got them here, with their best stretch coming in the second period. They'll look to repeat that in the fourth.
Okay, Doris, thanks. That scoring run, guys, was pretty key in this game so far, don't you think?
Yeah, very much so, Kevin. I mean, that was like a...
Gerald Wallace checked in for Chris Humphries. The Hawks leading by 5. Mr. Perfect in at the 3. Stripped out there with Ivan Johnson. Then there's Lewis Williams. And it's Harris in at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. That's good.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. Left in their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Williams with the ball. Devin Harris covering. The 3 from Johnson. And the shot is good.
Well, I bet you he'd like to forget that first half that he had. It's nice to see him bounce back here in the second.
Harris kicks to Johnson. And the Hawks getting another basket right there. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. On the wing, Johnson. Back to Williams. Vicious to Lopez. Burnett working the ball around now. Williams. Another shot. No luck. Now Williams. The step back jumper is good. And it's an 8-point Hawks lead.
He got that one, but he hasn't been producing the way we're accustomed to. He needs to look for a shot a bit more.
Williams with the ball. Devin Harris covering. Williams attacking. Feeds it to Johnson. That one goes. Covered. Johnson's got 5 points in the quarter.
He's really flipped the script with this performance here in the second half.
He dishes it to Williams. Good look. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Harris has got 3 assists now in this one. Williams kicks to Johnson. Working on Williams. Out to Wallace. Pass it to Brooks. There's the bucket. Good. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here, the Hawks leading by 6. Running out of time. Here's Mr. Perfect. The jump hook. The shot is off. Harris against Johnson. Wallace.
Well, that was well read to know exactly where that pass was going.
Yeah, especially on the lob pass, the position has to be perfect.
Yeah, as easy a 2 points as you're going to get on the soft alley-oop. That was nice.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Williams from down in the low post. And the Hawks lead by 6. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Avery Johnson was going over with his team. He told his guys, I know we can do this, fellas. Let's maximize every possession and get after it. And just watch. Things will go our way. Kevin?
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, we pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me that's what happened. We shifted the brain to neutral.
That was embarrassing.
Here's Johnson. No good. Good D by Lopez. And that's trailed by 4. Johnson gets to Humphries. Powers down the tunnel. What a difference in this crowd right now, Clark.
Yeah, they're breathless, nervous, and quiet.
Yep, it is quiet time, Clark. You got that right. That was a huge shot.
Here's Mr. Perfect, who's guarded by Johnson.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one. But, that's not his range.
Williams passes to Johnson. Buries the triple.
That's more like it. It's 9 points for him coming off 3-pointers in this half.
Here's Mr. Perfect. And that time, also a missed shot. Guys, it's come down here to a very important possession.
Yeah, 0 tolerance for mistake, too.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. He gets it to Johnson.
I'll tell you what, it's a scary sight when Johnson starts lighting it up like this.
Now here is Harris, and that one's good.
And that had to feel good.
Yeah, he exhaled as that one went down.
And they commit an intentional foul. You see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management is crucial.
And he commits the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
And those free throws will make things very hard on them. Only a 3 will save them now.
And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
Hey, sir.
Sad night for the team, but great game for you. So let's talk about your shooting. Have you been working on your jumper or what? It looked like you took it to another level tonight.
Nah, I didn't take it to another level. That's my normal level. I just happened to be the only one who could hit a shot out there tonight, and that's why we lost. I have faith in my teammates, though. One bad night's not the end of the world. They'll bounce back. They better bounce back, man, because losing games ain't an option for me.